that better?
It's flat on this side.
This side?
Name soon.
Okay. What's your name?
Mike Barilla.
And what model agency are you representing?
Right now I'm not with an agency. I'm with personal manager Ryan Colby.
And so how's that working out for you?
It's going pretty good. Right now he's got me going to Europe in June. I'm going to be working with an agency in London. And then when I come back, I'm going to be working in New York City with DNA, I think. Possibly. We're still working it out.
And that's an agency?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's one of the top.
So tell us about how long have you been modeling?
I got scouted like January of 2005. I started moving. I had to finish high school and then I moved into the city. And September of 2006 is when I started.
So how old are you?
I'll be 19 in June.
So what is your take on male models in the fashion industry?
It's interesting. I mean, it's crazy. I've seen some pretty wild stuff.
So do you feel as though male models get recognized as much as female models?
It's a growing industry, you know. At first, supermodels were all women, and now it's kind of like, you know, starting to grow more.
So, can you tell us some of the modeling jobs that you've been on?
I've mostly been developing the past couple months. I've been working with a lot of good photographers. I haven't done, I've done a few shows, but no major shows.
So, of the photographers that you work with, who's been your favorite?
I've had a lot of good ones. Monet is, of course, he's a good guy, he's always fun. I've worked with Tim Underwood, he's pretty cool. Eugene Gallegos, Blanca, there have been so many, but those are the ones that probably stand out the most.
So working with that many photographers, is there a style of those photographers that you like better?
Yeah, I personally like shooting more like commercial. I mean, I'm mostly booking fashion, but I like, more of like a stronger look than like feminine shots and stuff. And most of the photographers I've been shooting with have been doing like high-end fashion, so I mean, I'm kind of not really getting what I want, but hopefully I will soon.
So, do you have a favorite makeup artist that you've maybe worked with?
Not that I know off the top of my head. I work with so many, it's hard to remember.
So after you take your photograph and you see what it looks like, are you happy with it, or do you want your photographs to be retouched?
It all depends, 'cause sometimes the retouching is like the lighting will be off, and other than that, if I have any blemishes or anything, I want them to get rid of it, yeah.
So as a male model, what is your day-to-day regimen? I mean, do you have to do moisturizing or
Let's see. What do? I don't know, my life's pretty easy. I wake up, work out, go running, and then pretty much just go on my appointments, and that's about it, Pretty much my main focus is just staying in shape, looking good, for the camera.
So, is there a particular designer that you like or that you would like to model for?
Oof. I would personally, like every male model is cool. I want to book the major campaigns, which is like Dior and Gucci and Dolce & Gabbana, I mean, if you're going to do it, you might as well go for the top,
So, compared to them, do you think that you are those kind of models? I mean, those models are a little frail, and they do go more on the feminine side, which you say that you don't like doing.
Yeah, which is also, that's also where the problem entails, because the money is in high fashion, but it's only at a certain point, you got to be at the top of your game, or otherwise you're not making much money at all, which is where commercial is like, commercial is more stable with a paycheck.
So tell me, what has been your favorite, funnest photo shoot that you've been on?
The most interesting one was definitely the last time I shot with Monet. It was pretty wild. They had us dressed up. The two models that I was shooting with were dressed up like porcelain dolls, and I was like the puppet master. It was pretty crazy.
So, was that fun?
Yeah, it was a good time. It was interesting, you know. It's hard to work because we're working with ballerinas and stuff, and you know they aren't used to being behind the camera, so it took a little while, and the photographer kind of got a little annoyed, but you know it came out good. And we got the shots.
So, what is your worst experience?
I really haven't had too many bad experiences yet. The shoot that I had the least amount of fun on was probably the first nude shoot I did. That was that was uncomfortable. But I mean, you gotta do it, so.
So, do you I mean, when it was uncomfortable for you, why was it uncomfortable?
Just the setting, it was, you know, it was in an apartment and it was just me and the photographer, so it was kind of like, you know, it was a little like informal and I just met him and stuff, and it was just something I probably wouldn't do again unless the money paid enough, you know.
So, do you like, is it important for you to have a good rapport with the photographers? Does it make you move easier?
Oh, that's probably the most essential thing to modeling is, you know, is just staying in good with the photographers and making sure that you're always good around them and stuff, because your personality can make or break you.
So, I know that you haven't been told a lot about photo fash, which is short for photography fashion. But the whole concept of it, what's your take on that?
I mean, I think it's great. I mean, you know, fashion's just been blooming and it has been for so long, and, you know, it's good that it's out there, you know.
So if there's one thing that you can, one message that you can leave for other aspiring male models or models in general, what would that be?
Yeah, you're in for a long fight, you know. It's not easy. You gotta put a lot of work in. You gotta take your, you know, you gotta just put in your time, put in your work, do the best you can, and hope somebody likes you, you know. That's all you got.
Well, thank you, Mike.
You're welcome.